welcome back to the channel. As always, being a fine fig here, and today we are going to be taking a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Series number 153, the Cobra Frag-Viper. Now, I vaguely remember this character from back in the day. I don't remember him being in too many episodes, if any, of the cartoon that I grew up with, the Sumbo episodes. I don't think I've seen him in any other. I mean, I didn't read a lot of the G.I. Joe comics. I was more of the cartoon guy, but I did pick up a few issues here and there. And you know, at the rate that I was reading the comics, I could remember if whatever other character was in it. But I don't remember this. The only thing I remember about this when he came out, I think, is that he kind of resembled a mosquito. That's all I know. I mean, he basically, the snout, he had the long hose that came out from the bottom of the chin of the helmet, and and the big eye helmet, like the big visor, the way that it was shaped, it looked like a mosquito. And by the looks of it, they kind of improved this a little bit, but you know, again, it's just a character. Then, you know, we're gonna go over it, probably get more knowledge on it. I did research it a little bit, so I'm a little bit more prepared today than I usually am. I usually just, you know, even if I'm not familiar with the character, I just go ahead, unbox it, and, you know, just go over the actual figure and what it can do and what it looks like and what they might have added compared to the old one. But I did a little research, so I was right. He resembled like a big old orange mosquito from back in the day. But anyway, upgraded version, classified upgraded version to be precise. And as always, as we do here on the channel, I am going to get this figure out of the box, and I will be right back. All right, now that the figure is out of the box, we will quickly go over the accessories. And he pretty much brings almost exactly the same accessories that the O-ring release had, except for the exception that I think they gave him an extra Uzi, and we'll go over those first. And these ones are a little bit more modified than the other ones. They look a little bit better. They do have the magazine or the clip that does come out on both of them. So it's good. At least he's got two. I mean, but he is, again, the expert grenade launcher. So, I mean, I don't know how much of these he'll use. Maybe, you know, here and there, maybe. But they look cool. These look very good. And again, you know, they're all one color tone. I prefer maybe something on the handle. I don't know. Just put a Cobra signal on them or something just so they can stand out. But it's a nice looking weapon. I don't think I have any other figure that I can remember G.I. Joe with the weapons. There's just so many that it kind of looked like this. So this is actually a nice looking one. It's nice, round, small, manageable. Especially if he's going to have that basket and he's whipping it around. This is actually good to have. And then let's go over the... I'm not going to say backpack. This is more like a weapons, like a big old weapons, you know, depot. I mean, he's got all his grenades in there. Now, what I like the fact that they did as opposed to the original release. The original release had the big old round grenades in there. And it was a little hard to believe. It wasn't believable enough for those round big grenades to come out from the size of the hose that they used at the time. It was a little bit smaller and down to the backs to be whipped out, because this is like an automatic feeder, so it feeds it straight to you know, his bask, where he can swing them out and throw it at, you know, the Joes or the enemy or whatever. But the fact that they're small disc kind of shaped grenades makes it a little bit more believable, because obviously, you know, the hose, you know, this is the hose that's attached to it. So, I mean, I can pretty much see, you know, in a way, it's a little bit more believable, even though they kind of make this one a little bit bigger than the other ones. I wish they would have made it maybe the same size, because a bigger hose just wouldn't, like, it just wouldn't look good. Like, you know, it would just be too much. But the details on it, all the mechanical, the grenades in there, and, you know, if they're going to go with one color, they should have put a little bit of red on the rest of them to make it look good. It's got the nice pouch at the bottom. It's got the antenna, and then he's got the little output hose for his helmet, so he can breathe, I guess, at the same time. Or it's not so much he can breathe. I think it's with his mouth he's able to activate and, you know, feed the bask on it or something, you know, because when you look at the bask, it doesn't really have a trigger. So I think he pretty much activated it with his mouth. That could explain what the hose was for. But yeah, it's a little bit better done backpack or weapons catch The other one did resemble a backpack. This one's more of a square, like an ammunition box type thing. And I like it. It looks good. It looks good. And again, it's got this nice bendy holes. It's very pliable. You can do a lot of things with it. It's very gummy, but it's sturdy at the same time. It's nice and thin. You know, it's nice and strong. And then inside you can see those rings are, you know, pretty much attached to it. So it's actually very nice. I like that. I like what they did there. This looks very nice. And then of course you do get, like I've already shown before, you do get the grenade here, or the mine, or I mean, it looks like a mine grenade anyway, but with the, you know, it's got that little discharge there, smoke, I guess, going out. Shoot like a swoosh, I guess, trying to go for. They did kept the peg black, but obviously once it goes in there, you can't see it. But yeah, it's a nice accessory, and it'll look good. It will look good on the shelf. And then of course, here's the mask. Again, they got this from that game played over there in Europe. I could swear at the opening of Miami Vice that someone was playing that game. You know, they had these masks and at the opening intro. But this is nice. And then it's got different holes where you can peg at different exit points, I guess, on it, which I think is cool. You know, you can do a little stop motion and it'll look good, where you can go from there to there, out. And then the difference between this one and that are also original release, you don't get the, they didn't have the effect attached to the grenades on this one, but you did get 3 extra grenades. And then 2 of them, you know, you had them here. Instead of this antenna, you had the 2 little pegs for the grenades, and then you had the peg for the hose. This one here, the peg is actually on the hose, which is, I think it's a lot better. So it's less of a chance of you snapping or, you know, forcing it into the peg. But this at least looks really, really good. It's not one color. They put the silver up there. So not only you can shoot the grenades out, you know, but you can, I mean, I think it might be sharp enough that you can impale one of the Joes or enemies or whatever. And true to what the other one had, I think this also had a little machine, like a little weapon, a little machine there. And I could, yeah, they kept it here. As you can see, it still has a little machine gun. But again, it doesn't really have a trigger for it to, like, you know, because obviously he's got to hang on to it. But I mean, the idea, I guess the idea is there. You really can't tell. But yeah, they did it. It does have, it doesn't have a hole. Oh yeah, by the way, before I forget, the machine guns do have a hole on them, so you can plug accessory effects on it. But yeah, you can tell, you can see the nozzle there. And then you've got the mechanisms over here. So I think, yeah, I think it could shoot at the same time, or I don't know. I mean, that's what I think, at least. But I like the chrome color on it. It looks really good, and it's nice. It's a nice size, nice. And of course, we'll plug it in together at the end. And then, of course, we do get the Mosquito, better version of the modified Mosquito helmet that they had back in the day. The eyes are not as big as that original release. And then the snout does not come as far out as the other one did. And of course, this was the opposite of the other one, where the peg is on the actual hose. And I'm glad that the hose is a lot smaller and shorter. You know, it's not as thick either, because the other one was just too long. And again, you put it on that helmet with those big eyes and then the snout, and it just looks like a mosquito. And I'll have an image of it during the course of the video, so you'll know what I mean. I mean, it just looked like a mosquito. But the details, the mechanisms, the stuff, the painting, the visor, eyes on this, they look great. It kind of reminds me of a air pilot, like a jet fighter pilot. I mean, this looks great. It's got that grill there. Again, I believe that and this is me, that the mask and the grenade is activated with the mouth, or some way or another. But I mean, you got like the air ducts there for the breathing. I mean, this looks good. You just got all the rivets around the helmet. That adds a very unique touch to it. You can see the claps where the helmet comes off. And then you got the whole piece for the jaw. Yeah, I believe so. And then you got these little mechanisms in the back of the helmet. I mean, this is really nicely done. They did a good job, and it's got a nice shine to it. And then the hose is very plain and black and stuff. But again, I am so glad that it is short, condensed, and it doesn't twirl around the whole figure like the other one did. And because I've seen pictures of it, and it just looks, I mean, I get it, toys of that era, that's the best they could do. But man, looking back, it's like, man, I am so glad that the toy industry has changed and they're able to do a lot more stuff, better looking stuff. So, but the helmet is good. Now, as opposed to the other figure, now that we are going to look at the figure, we, let me just shut this off really quick. It didn't, you know, the helmet was not removable. So we got I guess they are zombies or tranced soldiers or something, because he's got that weird cyborg face. I mean, look at that. It's got that cut around the eyes like they just have surgery. It's like he's been put together in a lab. He's got all those scars around the chin and the eyes. The eyes are all yellow out with red. I mean, his skin looks like it's about to decay. He looks like a zombie. I mean, this is incredible. Now, I don't do a lot of, if you see my other videos on Vipers and army builders and stuff, I do the reviews. If I like to, I usually end up picking up two. If I really, really like it, I'll pick up a couple. I'm definitely going to pick up another one. I just happened to see a single one in Target, so I picked them up. But obviously, if I come across another one, maybe a third one, I might pick it up, because this one actually looks really good. I love the fact that they toned down the color as opposed to the color from the original. They did kept that sash here, this little, I don't know, the other one, it was like all this whole bandage type thing was all wrapped around the body, and it came around the arms and around the legs and around the holster. And you know, I'm glad that they kind of made him look more, again, like one of those pilot uniforms, you know, those little, I mean, that's what it looks like. But the improvement on the harnesses and all these, see the buckles here, the other one just had unpainted clamps going down the middle of it, and it was all a bright orangey color. It kind of looked like a prisoner. But this improvements on this is fine. I'm glad that they kept this here, at least kept it like the original. The face mask with the headless face sculpt, it's great. I mean, Cobra is known to have all these dead and undead soldiers. That, I mean, I'm not surprised there. So again, I'm not too, I don't get too excited about that particular, you know, storylines where they have like the, you know, Cobra Commander, you know, turning into a snake, and I mean, because I'm more of I just like the straight out G.I. Joes, but you gotta admit, some of these figures look great, and this Viper is no different. It looks really good. The improvements on it are really, really good. I'm glad they added the yellow, that brown touch inside under. Again, he looks like one of those pilots. And then the gloves on the other ones went up, and they kind of like, just angled out. They decided to not go with that and just go with the whole sleeve, half brown with the orange over. He did get like a protector here for the wrist and forearm protector, which is actually a nice touch, because it's the only one that it's not exposed. Is the arms is exposed. The other one actually is going to have the mask on it, so he'll have protection there. They gave him the 2 holsters for the gun, which, before he only had one. On the other one, he actually had a knife on his left leg, but it was like the same color of the uniform, of that orangey uniform. And then he had like regular shoes because it went all the way down. This one here, they gave him better looking boots, which is great. And then these fit in there perfectly. And then the details of it, he's got that nice harness there. It's got the buckle, got the Cobra logo, just like as it was in the other one. I think he's got the comp there, the radio, or he's got some wires coming out of here. Again, I think he's being powered. Oh, he's trying to run away. I think he's a cyborg being controlled by all these little mechanisms. He's got the nice, he's got the metal on the gloves there. It's like a little clamp there for some reason. And then he's got the pouches. Everything else down kind of resembles the satch, how it came all the way around and then through the legs and stuff, except they just substituted with these little with these holsters and this harness up here. He did get some nice knee pads, which the other one didn't. It was all straight down. And I like how they intertwined the blue in there with the boots and protect. There's like little shin guards there on the front. But yeah, this looks really good. They did a good job with that. And of course, the helmet, you don't have to remove the head. You can just snap it in there. Yeah, it still looks like a mosquito, but not an exaggerated mosquito, if you will. And then let's see if this harness does not interfere with the yeah, it does not. Actually, it looks very good. Let's see how this goes in here. If it's easy enough. Well, yeah. So the hand is, the swivel on the hand is very, very loose. So I don't know if they already tried messing with it. But yeah, it's I rarely see the wrist joint this loose as like I've seen on this figure. I mean, it is very, very loose, as you can see. But it's plugged in there. It looks really good. And of course, this one goes in there. So yeah, this looks really good. And of course, yeah, this is the peg there's that wrist joint is very, very loose. And now with this on it kind of makes it a lot looser because it swivels around. But there you have it. This is the Frag-Viper at his best when he's swinging. Oh yeah, I have to work on this because it's I didn't realize how loose. This one is, it's not too noticeable because the guard kind of holds it a little bit in place, but once you put this on, because of the weight of it and then the hose, I mean, it's very loose. So I was not counting on that. Other than that, the rest of the joints on this is actually pretty good, but I was not counting on this particular, on the wrist here to be this loose. I have never encountered a loose wrist with any of the G.I. Joe figures. So that might be the only little bit disappointment, I think. Yeah. Other than that, this is a nicely looking figure. I definitely got to pick me up at least one more. And keep it in an even feel like I have with all my other Vipers, where I have at least 2 of each one. Except for the normal troopers, I got the entire set, and then I got 2 more of the officers. So I got a little bit more than those, but everything else, basically just get them in 2s, just for space availability on my shelf. But Frag-Viper, again, not too familiar with the character, but it looks really good. It actually looks good. All the stuff that they did, that they paid homage to the original release and what they added to makes this figure looks really, really good. And I am glad I picked it up because when we did the pre-orders, I skipped right over it. I got the ones that I wanted, and I just happened to see it. And once sometimes it's figures that you don't think are going to be that good, once you have them on hand. And I was looking at it in Target, I was like, oh, I think I got to get this. I definitely got to get my hands on this. And I am glad I did. So now it's going to be hunting on for the next one because I definitely got to get myself another one. So there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, thank you for your support. And as always, continue to support each other. Continue to be a fine figure. And I will see you later.